In a world already drowning in violence, the most dangerous killer isn't the one holding a gun. It's the old lady pulling the strings. She doesn't strike her victims down, she rewires them, twists them, and turns them into weapons of her own design. Neighbors, friends, even family. Under her control, they become executioners. And with every death, her web of influence spreads, leaving behind nothing but blood and silence. This movie begins with a young narrator telling a story about a new teacher in her school, named Dustin Gandy. Miss Gandy entered her classroom and found none of 18 students there except a little boy named Alex. It happened that the night before, every other kid in Miss Dustin's class woke up, went out of their house and never came back. The parents and police weren't sure where the kids went and decided to interview Alex. He made the police know that he didn't know why his classmates did that. They also talked to Miss Gandy, but she wasn't able to give them any useful information. The school was closed for a while, but the night before it was reopened, there was a meeting held to help everyone figure out how to feel. There was pointing of fingers at Miss Gandy because the parents needed to know what happened. The officials managed to get her away from the angry parents safely. She stopped by at the supermarket to drinks. Just then, she received a call from an unknown caller telling her to watch her back. She walked out of the supermarket looking very scared and went straight home. She noticed a strange noise at her door and went to check out what it was. When she went out, she saw a witch inscription on her car. Looking so sad, she cleaned it off. Miss Gandy was having a conversation with the principal and was advised to leave the area cause it wasn't safe for her. She also asked to speak with Alex but was denied access. She left the school sobbing and went to the police to report what happened the night before. Paul met with Miss Gandy and they had conversations about everything that has been going on with her. Paul slept over at hers and she dropped him off at work the next day. They had conversations about the case of missing children and John told her to leave it to them. Gandy trailed the school bus till Alex came down. She went to his house and decided to sneak to the backyard. She peeped through the window and noticed something very creepy. She called the principal and insisted she stayed away from Alex. Gandy went to supermarket and was harassed by Paul's girlfriend accusing her of having an affair with him the night before. Gandy saw herself in her classroom with only Alex's face being clown painted. She woke and discovered that it was a dream. She went to Alex the next morning but yelled at her and ran off. She knocked at his door and got no response from Alex's mom. She decided to wait in her car where she slept off. A lady with a knife entered her car while she was asleep and cut part of her hair. Archer's story started of him watching a cam video of his son leaving the house. He stepped out and went to the station. He asked the officer about the children's case but he didn't say much. The movie takes us back to the meeting scene and as Gandy was leaving the school, he followed her having some pain in his truck. Archer had a dream where he trailed his son when he was running and it took him to a house. In tears and asked Matthew where he went to and suddenly he turned a clown. He woke up in shock. In the morning, he saw that same house in the dream. He went back in and traced some houses with a map. Archer went to a fellow parent that lost her daughter in the incident. He asked her for the footage of that night but she refused. He waited for her husband and he allowed him watch the footage. He made some traces and everything led back to that house in his dream. He bumped into Jane on his way home. As they were having an argument, a bruised looking man bumped into Jane and started strangling her. Archer tried to help her stop him. Paul's story started of him concluding a phone call with his girlfriend named Dana. Afterwards he told his father that Dana requested for a dinner of them together. On Paul's way home, he noticed a man peeping at someone else's window. He ran off when he noticed Paul and chased him till he got him. While he was running searching him, he got pierced and he angrily hit James. Paul went back into his car and unplugged his dash cam. He freed James and told him not say anything about what happened. Paul went to talk to father, being scared that the citizen might file a police brutality report. The movie also takes us back to where he met with Gandy. When he got back home, he was surprised to see Dana and she questioned him of his whereabouts. When Paul was at the station he saw James coming near and angrily chased him. James' story started of him looking for the remains of his drugs but couldn't find any. The next day, he stole a kid's bag from a car and went to sell what was in it but the man refused to buy. He tried breaking into another house and this was when Paul started chasing him. After what happened with Paul and James, James went out on the streets again. He broke into another house and in this house which appeared to be Alex's house. He startled when he found the parents but they weren't moving or taking. Turning back, he did them again. James was looking for other things and this led him to the basement. He saw lots of creepy children and ran off in fear. James went to sell what he was able to get and in that shop, he saw a poster with a reward above it of that same children he found. He alerted the police and this was when Paul chased him off. James ran off to the woods and he noticed a clown-faced woman waving at him. He ran off into his tent and closed it. James attacked Paul thinking he was the woman he saw earlier. Paul tried to take him out and James hastily told him why he was at the station earlier. James took Paul to this house and Paul went inside alone. When he came out, he appeared very aggressive and dragged James into the house. Marcus received a call from Gandhi and this when she told him to leave Alex alone. Marcus invited Alex's mom over but the aunt named Gladys came instead. Marcus insisted to speak with his parent instead. Marcus was at home when Gladys came and requested for water. Marcus found this weird but Terry let her in. She requested for the water in a bowl and as they were having a conversation, she bewitched him and made him kill Terry. She also put Gandhi hair on her stick and made Marcus run towards Gandhi to kill her also. Gandhi was able to drive away from him and Archer followed in his own car. Archer saw that Marcus' head had been crushed. He headed to the hospital alongside with Gandhi. While they were out, Gandhi thanked Marcus for saving her. Archer noticed that the children were running the exact way that Marcus was. Marcus showed Gandhi the map and she noticed that the children were all running towards Alex's house. Alex's story began at the class and was picked up by his dad after school. He told Alex that his auntie was coming that day. Gladys arrived at night. The next day, Alex pipped into Gladys' room and he saw an old woman there. Alex was dropped off at school the next day by his dad. And after school hours, no one came to pick him up. He had to walk all the way home. When he got home, he noticed his parents were different. Gladys tried to pretend they were okay but Alex wasn't having it. The next day, Gladys made him promise not to tell anyone at school what had happened and if he did she'd make his parents hurt themselves. Alex came back from school the next day and was made to feed his parents. His life continued like these for days. One day Gladys called in Alex and she made him bring object from each of his classmates. The next day, Alex went into the classroom while the other children were playing and took their stuff. When he got home, he gave everything to Gladys and in the middle of the night she started performing her witchcraft. At exactly 2:17 all the children ran into Alex's house. The next day there was interrogations and Alex said everything just as Gladys instructed him to. Gladys cleared up the house as detectives would be coming for an inspection. They weren't able to find anything when they came. Alex fed his parents alongside the children every day. Alex home one day and found Paul at his house just the same way his parents were. Gladys instructed him to pack up as they would be leaving the next day. Archer and Gandhi was at Alex's house and saw Paul behave strangely. They went into the house and were by the people Gladys had bewitched. James pushed Archer's into a basement where he saw Gladys and was also bewitched. Alex was also being attacked because he crossed the salt. He made way to Gladys' room and took some things to perform a trick he had seen her do. Archer attacked James and just then Alex had performed the trick. This all the children run towards Gladys. They caught her and all attacked her until she died. When she died everyone she had Archer came back to his senses. And all the kids reunited with their parents. Alex also reunited with his parents. The end. Thanks for watching guys. Please like, subscribe and comment. Cheers.